introduce to you the man of the hour, Tony.
Hello and welcome back to At the Gates. This is the last episode of the season. I am joined at the gates of U.S. Cellular Field by
Larry Larson,
Nick Larson,
Jack Larson,
and my mother, Joyce Larson.
who is kind of in the back not talking to us because she's embarrassed, probably by her son Larry, who is the only one that is not wearing a White Sox shirt. So, I mean, although your hat, it is just MLB, but it's White Sox colors.
I'm supporting the umpires today.
It's much like supporting the troops, right?
Yep.
The umpires are the troops of baseball, so well done.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, they're pretty unappreciated, for all the hard work that they do throughout the season. Shout out to the umpires.
That's true, and they get a lot of injuries back there, so they're basically taking bullets, aka baseballs, to random parts. So
I don't know about that.
It's tough. Did you see some of those concussions this year? Some of the umpires getting hit?
Yeah, I've seen.
They bleed.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if that's comparable. I can't
Comparable?
talk. Comparable to bullets, but
Or comparable.
Comparable, whatever you prefer.
So I'm going to go off the cuff, and instead of doing this as a baseball podcast, we're going to do this as a golf podcast, Larry.
All right. So, go ahead.
So, do you golf at all?
Yeah, I golf.
And what's your average round for you?
I mean, for 9 holes this season, it was like 44. Should have been lower, but that's golf.
Hey, that's still good. That's averaging under 90 for a full 18.
Yeah, but didn't do that the past 2 days. So.
Oh, huh. But the golf course was wet, right?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Any other things that were distractions? Were there any girls in the audience that you were just getting distracted by?
I mean, actually, my little brother came and watched me the first day. He's a little bit of a distraction. But actually, a few weeks ago, I did play with a girl.
You told me to come.
Okay, but a few weeks ago, I played with a girl who's pretty attractive, and let's just say I didn't play the best round of my life. So yeah.
So you're not going to join the LPGA anytime soon?
No, not planning on it.
That's probably good. I don't know that you would make it, and also, like you said, you just might not shoot rounds that would qualify because you're distracted.
Yeah, a little bit.
So let's take a look at basically some of the things that we have on the list. And I did no preparation, so I would like to thank basically all of the Twitter followers for suggesting basically what we do. And Exiled Mets fan, I think you were the first one, and then Angel, you were the second one. So we basically took your suggestions and ran with them. Right off the bat, this is not only our last day of 2016 at U.S. Cellular, but it's going to be Robin Ventura's. Thoughts, Larry?
You know what? White Sox fans are probably really happy about this move. I know they really don't like Robin Ventura as a manager. In all honesty, he's done an okay job. It's not his fault that they're losing all these games and failing as a team overall. But I don't like the way he's managed the team. Really, he doesn't manage pitching well. I'm surprised Chris Sale's arm hasn't fallen off yet. But it's really not his fault that they're losing, but still, it's time to go.
Kind of sounds almost like he wasn't here as long as Ron Gardenhire, but kind of like the Twins with Ron Gardenhire, where really good guy, people like him as a person, but as a manager, he kind of didn't deliver what he was supposed to, and now it's his time to move on.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see former Cubs manager Rick Renteria get a shot here. He was Cubs manager for a year, didn't do that bad of a job, didn't have the talent on the field, and then Joe Madden became available, and the rest is history.
And that's the weird thing about even just when you look at the White Sox in general. It seems like historically they've had some really, really good players, but they haven't really built a team. Would you say that that's pretty accurate since about 2000? Well, basically since 2005 when they won it, they haven't really built a full team. They're kind of revolving around guys like Abreu and Sale and just kind of pieces parts.
Yeah, I mean, you really look at this year's lineup going into the season. I looked at the White Sox on paper. I'm like, damn, they're stacked. I mean, in all reality, they really are stacked.
Kind of like that girl at the golf tournament.
Sure. We'll go with that. But I mean,
why did you get red?
I don't know.
You're matching your twin shirt right now.
I guess. Okay. But I mean, just like my round at that tournament, things didn't turn out for the White Sox. It started off good. I just don't know what happened. They've got a pretty good rotation. Got a lot of young pitching talent, but their lineup, in all reality, I mean, they're pretty old on paper. I mean, Abreu, he's 30 years old. He's getting older. His production is declining.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of these players' primes are late 20s, and he's already past his prime, his average prime, you'd say, for Major League Baseball players. A lot of these guys on the team are, although they're still producing. Melky Cabrera having a pretty good season. Last year he had a season. But honestly, I really didn't see any reason for the White Sox to be really bad this season.
I would agree. I think a lot of people picked them to finish higher than what they did. But would you say that maybe the White Sox are really good at golf? Because, I mean, you basically said they have a subpar season.
Maybe they're better than baseball.
So they're playing the wrong sport because, I mean, golf you want to be subpar.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I haven't seen any pictures of White Sox players golfing, but, you know, Yoni Cespedes, big golfer, big golf guy.
That's true.
Maybe his buddy Jose Abreu is a big golf guy too.
So you're thinking maybe they should just have like a Cuban golf league?
Maybe.
Cuban MLB golf league?
I know. I you know, when Cuba got opened back up, I heard that there was only like one golf course in all of Cuba. So, I don't know. Maybe they're not very good at golf, but who knows?
Probably. Well, we could test it out against year round, see if...
You know, I'm down. So, Chris Sale, hit me up when you want to play golf next time.
Well, the Cubans. So, Jose Abreu, if you want to give Larry Larson a call, I'm sure he'll give you his number. Just follow him on Twitter, and you guys can play around. It's not like you're going to be doing anything on October anyways, so... Sorry, Jose. The other one that I want to talk about quick is the last time that I'm going to be mentioning this on the podcast. I think that it's going to be Trevor Plouffe's last technical game as a Twin. He's not going to be playing. I don't even know that he made the trip down here, but my favorite guy is pretty much going to be gone. Probably going to be non-tendered because we have a ton of corner infield position guys that, quite honestly, either make more than him or are younger. So he's the odd man out. So I wish you the best of luck. I hope that you get picked up by a California team and can be close to home. And that way your mom and the rest of your family get to see you play a lot of games. Then the next one on the list, by the way, it just hit noon. So noon o'clock dance, everyone?
Sure, why not?
Okay, let's do it.
Good thing this
Awkward.
is a audio baseball podcast.
Yeah, we danced like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't believe the moves. What did you just do? What do you call that?
I just dabbed myself into concussion.
Okay. Kind of like that weird guy on
Yep.
the football game last night who was... Did you see that? The weird, like, super crazy? Yeah. Playoff prediction time. Should we talk about the Cubs first or just about playoffs in general?
Should we go through like a bracket?
Yeah, let's do a bracket.
All right.
So let's start with, since we're at an AL stadium, let's start with the American League.
All right. Let's see. Who's in the playoffs for the American League? It's still up in the air. The wild card is.
Correct. It's going to be Texas facing the wild card, and
I'm guessing. I don't know. It's going to be either Toronto or Baltimore, in my opinion.
Yep.
In that wild card game, I'd really see Toronto coming out of that game and setting up that nice little rematch of last year's playoff series and then the fight.
Yes.
So I would really enjoy watching that series. I really like the Blue Jays on paper. It's their last year, in all honesty, of probably being in contention because Bautista's a free agent.
Yep.
Encarnacion's a free agent, I'm pretty sure, and as is Tulowitzki, I think. So, I don't know. I'm hoping to see the Blue Jays make a run here. It's nice to see some good baseball in Canada. So I'm picking the Blue Jays coming out of there. Let's see, what's the other?
It's going to be Boston
and Cleveland.
and Cleveland.
I like Boston there. Cleveland
Agreed.
is a good team, but Boston, they remind me a little bit of the Cubs. Imagine that. Nice young talent. They got a good enough starting rotation to get them to the ALCS.
And they've had a lot of guys that have been there before, which also helps because, I mean, it's going to be magical with David Ortiz's last game or last season. So, I mean, he's going to be doing something in the playoffs. You know that. And I think that they just kind of make a run because of that. One, because they don't know any better because they're young. And then two, they have the emotion of sending him off on a very positive note.
Yeah.
So who would you say the ALCS matchup would be then?
That would be Toronto and Boston.
All right, I'm going to go Texas versus Boston. Ooh. So at least we have a little bit of difference there. And we will save who gets into the World Series until after we make the National League side.
All right, sounds good. So
who has the overall number one spot in the National League?
I heard it's some team from Chicago.
Oh, the White Sox got changed over to the National League?
Not yet.
Oh.
No.
All right, so the Cubs versus, we know the Mets clinched for one of the wild cards.
And then it's either the Cardinals or the Giants.
Yes, and the Giants right now have the leg up. I think they're one game up.
I'm really hoping Cardinals make the playoffs. I don't want to see the Giants.
But at the same time, let's say the Cardinals do win that game. They get in and play your squad.
Yeah.
How much would that hurt to have the Cardinals be the ones that knock you guys out?
That would hurt. But I'd rather hear all that from Cardinals fans than all the even year BS from Giants fans. So.
Okay. Fair enough. And then for the other side? So you're taking Cubs to walk out of that, I take it?
Easily.
Okay.
Well, for the wild card game, I'm honestly thinking the Mets would pitch Syndergaard,
yep.
And I would think they would come out of that. But after Syndergaard, they've got Cologne, and then
so they're gonna smell good.
Crap, and then the next pitcher. So I don't see the Mets winning a series against the Cubs this year. But then again, they're the Mets, and the Cubs are the Cubs. So you never know.
Cubs will always Cubs.
I guess so, but the team that would really scare me in the playoffs would be the Giants. They're legitimately the only team.
And also they would scare me in real life. I mean, you're talking about giant people.
That would be a little bit scary, yeah.
I mean, a cub, that's kind of cute. A little cuddly bear.
At least probably
versus...
Sandoval's gone.
That's true. But we might get to see him with Boston. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Well, he is still kind of a giant, so I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
Jack with the roast.
So how about the other side of the National League? Who are the Cubs going to play?
Let's see. We've got the Dodgers and the, who is it?
Coming out of the East.
It's the Nationals.
Correct.
Okay, so Nationals.
He forgot about Bryce Harper. Just think sexy hair.
Okay, this is gonna sound really bad if the Nationals end up beating the Cubs because I forgot about them. But they're also really banged up, much like the Mets. Strasburg not looking like he's gonna pitch in the NLDS at least, and he would be coming back in the NLCS, and I don't think that's the best rehab assignment. What?
Wilson Ramos is what he's trying to tell you.
Yeah, Wilson Ramos tore his ACL. He's done.
He didn't tear it. There was an accident which tore it. He didn't just get frustrated with his own ACL and just rip it.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, I just want to make sure that
right.
we're...
Yeah, just sorry about that, guys.
If there's anything about the listeners of this podcast is that they are very, very literal.
All right, so that's my bad. I'll take that L right there. But Ramos, he's having a great season for the Nationals. Not anymore. He's done.
Which team did he start with his career? Oh,
Nationals.
Right, the Twins.
Oh.
Yeah. Because we had a surplus of catchers. And
sucks to suck.
Yeah. Then when Mauer goes down, we decide, oh no, we don't need catchers anymore. Not bitter. Anywho.
No, I've got his jersey at my house.
Really?
Wilson Ramos.
And
Nationals, though.
For those of for those listeners who don't know what a jersey is, can you explain?
It is a T-shirt jersey. You know, I'm pretty sure most.
So basically, they breed a T-shirt with a jersey.
Yeah, close enough. We'll go with that.
So Dodgers Nationals, who takes it?
Dodgers.
Dodgers Cubs, who takes it?
That also really scares me. But
why? Because they're going to dodge the Cubs?
No, Dodgers. But then again, they're not the same team they've been in the past. Obviously, they just don't look as good. You know, the Cubs are easily the best team on paper in the league. But,
which also is scary because you don't want them to just kind of ease into it.
Yeah, exactly. They're the Cubs. So obviously the Dodgers would get me a little bit nervous. Haven't given much thought to it. But we all know what they did to the Cubs last time they were in the playoffs before 2015. They got their ass handed to them by the Dodgers. So, but Cubs.
All right. So, who do you have coming out of the AL? So far, I will say that I don't know if I totally agree with you on the NL side. I know that the Cubs are going to come out of it. I just don't know who they're going to beat in the NLCS because it's really just a toss-up. I'm going to go just for the sake of being different. Cubs Nationals.
All right.
Cubs take it.
All right.
So who do you have coming out of your? You had Boston, Toronto.
You know.
I do know.
This all-knowing Tony Boda. This is a tough one, but Boston really reminds me of the Cubs. So just for that, I'm going with the Red Sox.
So we are going to have a matchup of the teams with the two oldest stadiums in the league. Both stadiums over 100 years old. That's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, that would really be a crazy World Series. Thinking about it, just going from Wrigley Field to Fenway Park, pretty like atmospheres. Stadiums are alike, obviously, both really old. So it'll be fun to watch.
I'm going to go a little bit different. I think it's going to be, because I had Texas instead of Toronto, so it's going to be Texas coming out of that because I see them beating Boston. It wouldn't surprise me if Boston wins, but I just want to see someone win a World Series that either hasn't won one or hasn't won one with anyone alive to remember.
Okay. I mean, all right, this suits yourself, man. I like that Cubs-Texas matchup. Cubs would easily win that, I think. 4 games.
They do have to win 4 games, so you are correct.
4-game sweep.
Oh, 4-0. Okay.
Yeah.
So who do you have winning the World Series? Shocker, he went with Boston. You just heard it right there. Larry went with Boston.
I didn't say anything, actually, but Cubs.
Okay. Knock on some wood. Here. Right here. There. Okay, Larry knocked on my head, so he knocked on wood, so don't have to worry. He didn't jinx it.
Don't see any wood around.
I'm going to go also with Cubs, too, so there, I knocked on my head as well. So I guess no matter what, even though we went a different way about it, we still ended up with the same winner, so I'm sorry. Do you have any thoughts? Any different overall champion?
Boston.
Hey, Jack.
I was also thinking Boston, but I don't know.
Oh,
you know what, Jack? Really,
family
Jack,
divided.
Jack,
Jack,
really quick.
Jack, did you
How
remember
far-
that the Pirates didn't make the playoffs? Yeah.
How far are the
that's
Pirates
just
going to make it again? How far did they make it last year? How far did
if
they
the
make
Giants make the playoffs, the Cubs, they're not going to make it far. They're done. It's an even year.
You know what? I'm really worried. I don't know how many Larsons are going to make it in through the gates because there's like an ultimate fighting going on right now.
We're fighting as we speak.
I would go over under at 2.5. I'm going to take the over. I think that at least 3 people are going to make it through.
I would agree.
So, let's go to ball hawking stuff. Who do you have for ball hawk of the year? I'll do mine really quick. Number 3, I'm going to start. You don't have to do all 3.
All right.
You can just pick one. But I'm going to give 3, 2, 1. Number 3, I think, is going to be Zach Hampel. Normally, I don't vote for him, not because I hate him or anything, but just because I like to see different people win. And other previous years, he just hasn't compared to his previous stats. But this year, he's caught a lot of game home runs, and it's hard to ignore that. But I still want to see...
Home run at Fort Bragg.
Oh no.
Oh. So it's going to be hard. I think he's going to win it, so that's why I put him at number 3. But I do want to see someone else win, so that's why number 2 I put Dennis Mora.
Who called that at the beginning of the season on the first and only video baseball podcast made by Ballhawks for Ballhawks?
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure I did.
And he was also just on that said only video podcast for Ballhawks and by Ballhawks. And
Only video baseball podcast made by Ballhawks for Ballhawks.
You and your taglines. We don't believe in taglines here at the Gates.
Shout out to my co-host Cole. Can't be here today. He was supposed to.
Hold on. I have to give him a shout out.
Okay, then
because
do it.
he told me at the end. He's our sponsor today. Didn't you know?
All right. My bad.
And number 1, a guy that I got to meet for a very brief time down in Atlanta, David Welch, because he's been just putting up big numbers as well as catching some game home runs and just having a blast down there. So,
David, nice guy. Pleasure to meet him down in Atlanta. Really good ball hawk. In all honesty, there's a lot of competition down there in Atlanta, and he finds his ways to put up big numbers. And that might sound really dumb. Oh yeah, a lot of competition in Atlanta. Yeah, 15,000 fans a game. There's a lot of ball hawks and there's a lot of retrievers.
Yes, I can attest to that, because even though I was for the first time down there and I still put up 8 each game, I had to work for that 8, and I saw that there were a ton of people there that obviously the stands aren't full, but there's a lot of people in the front row, like you said, going after their retrievers and getting a lot of toss-ups. So it's a fight amongst a few dozen people that are very loyal and very good at what they do.
Yeah.
So who do you have as your number 1 for Ball Hawk of the Year?
You know what? I'm not going to vote for Zach Hampel, but I think Zach Hampel's going to win. Wow, imagine that. Shocker. But
that was sarcasm for my literal listeners.
Yeah, some crazy stuff going down on my GameBalls.com. Dark horse. But, Zach Hampel, just for him, we should really, I know we had a whole controversy over Ball Hawk of the Year on the website a few years ago, might have been a year ago, Rocco Sinisi. He really
There's
likes
a lot of
to talk.
opinions.
A lot of opinions on this award. I don't think there should be as many awards as he stated.
Yep.
I honestly just think we should cut the award voting and just see who battles it out and snags as many baseballs as possible, and they get the award.
That sounds good to me. So who are you going to vote for? Number 1?
Dennis Moore.
All right. There you go, Dennis. You get a number 1 and number 2 vote from...
Number 2, I think I'm going to vote for Cole Atkins.
Which brings me to Junior Ball Hawk of the Year. I almost put Cole in there, but for Ball Hawk of the Year, but I put him as number 1 for Junior. So number 3 overall, I'm going to say is an open spot. So please, if you would like to basically submit your resume and let me know why I should vote for you, do that. Because I can only think of 2 very, very, very fitting people.
I got a number 1.
Number 2, Angel Arroyo, because he's awesome. And number 1, I think it's not pronounced Cole. I think he told me Coley or Coley. Coley Adkins.
Coley Adkins.
And that's how you pronounce it.
Coley Adkins.
Adkins. Or is it Adkins?
Adkins.
Because I think that's how they do it down in Kentucky. Coley. I'm pretty sure. So Coley, you get Junior Ball Hawk of the Year from me.
Yeah,
who do you have?
I've got Cole number 1.
He's always number 1 in your heart.
My buddy Angel number 2, and I don't know who I'd vote for. I don't know who I'd vote for number 3. I'm really thinking Eric Abneri from New York.
I think.
Are you being paid?
No.
Okay.
No.
I definitely take Eric over Nate. The frowny face all the way.
I gotta say Natalie Doppler, because he fell in Harambe's pit.
R.I.P. Harambe.
R.I.P.
Dicks out. So for speaking of ball hawking, let's do this kind of quickly. Any goals for 2017?
See some new stadiums. I've seen them pretty much all the ones in the Midwest except Kauffman Stadium. I'd like to hit that up.
Oh, Kauffman. Sorry.
Yeah, not Kauffman.
Bad joke. I am Kaufman.
You know, maybe even the Florida stadiums, make a trip down there. Still, I've been to New York like twice out there.
You want to go to the All-Star game with me?
I'm down. Let's go.
Okay. Marlins Park,
We're going to
2017.
the All-Star game.
Send us there. We can do a double podcast from down there.
You know, I
And you're not invited.
Yeah.
We can see Marlins Man. You can see Marlins Man.
I don't think you can because he has a superpower where you can't see him unless like he acknowledges you on Twitter. And he's been blocking a lot of people, so.
You know, I share the same name as Marlins Man, Lawrence.
Oh, well, there we go.
And we've got the same birthday.
So,
Coincidence?
You are basically a time traveling Marlins man.
I guess so.
You will later grow up to be a lawyer and somehow go back in time to go to all these events, and you are definitely going to stay humble.
For sure.
So, and support those troops, or if not troops, at least support the umpires.
Support the umpires.
So it sounds like your goals are basically more about going places rather than putting up numbers. Is that pretty safe to say?
It's safe to say I really like meeting new people, and nonetheless, I do
Oh,
like...
by the way, my name's Tony.
Hi, Tony. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, new person.
Yeah, new person. You know, I like meeting new people and seeing new stadiums, but
New people, not nude.
No, not at all. I don't like seeing nude people. Especially
Unless they're on the golf course.
No, okay. I'm pretty sure I don't like seeing nude people at the ballpark or the golf course.
That's true. Balls out for Harambe.
Balls out for Harambe. But yeah, I mean, next year, my goal is every year to get to at least 10 games. Maybe I want to up my average to like 4 a game. So 40 balls, 10 games.
That sounds like a good goal. And maybe you can come up to Minnesota and watch another game.
I want to come up to Minnesota again at Mom over there. I know you're looking at me. I want to go up there again.
He can just walk up there. I'll make sure he gets up there.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just meet you down here when I go to a game down here. Then I'll bring him back up and.
Or maybe
Sounds
Tony
good.
should just like move down here. And go
I
to
would
games.
consider it.
Yeah. See.
I think my goals are very much in line with yours. I want to go to a few new places. I really want to go out to Cali and hit up those stadiums. I was supposed to this year, but that fell through. So I really want to hit up a lot of those, and I think I might have a way to do that in April. So fingers crossed, I might be able to cross off all of the California stadiums, as well as maybe even Arizona.
Breaking news on At the Gates. Tony's going to California.
Permanently.
Uh-oh.
No. Although they would have a lot of great vegan restaurants out there, which, by the way, I tried again for the second time, Chicago Diner here, and it was pretty fantastic. And I'm trying to think of what else I went to. Well, that's going to bother me. I know this. Let me go look for it. It is something about rockets, I want to say. I think. Let's see. Let's go look at the text messages. Let's see which place I ate at. This is awkward. So this is a live podcast, which isn't live. It is
text messages.
Ground Control restaurant. It had a rocket on there. See, I'm not making things up. That's their logo. The rocket is actually a carrot because it's a vegetarian vegan place.
Where's that?
In Chicago here.
Oh.
So it's very good.
My mom.
A lot of gluten-free things on the menu too.
My mom, she's a big vegetarian, gluten-free gal. You know, I'm a big gluten-free guy.
No, I'd say that you're about regular size. You're not big.
No, I'm not big. I mean, if anything, I'm pretty skinny.
Yeah.
Twig.
So.
Taller than you. Taller than everybody on this podcast.
It's true. So I think that pretty much does it. This is Tony and
Larry Larson.
Jack Larson.
Nick Larson.
signing off from U.S. Cellular. Oh, wait, nope.
Nope.
Nope, I can't do that.
No.
I have to. I almost signed off without giving proper credit to Cole Adkins.
Cole Adkins.
Oh, man. He would have killed me. So, he wanted to say, shout out to Ballhawk Talk, the first and only video baseball podcast made by Ballhawks for Ballhawks. And that doesn't mean like the number 4, it means F-O-R, like possessive.
It's important.
Also, shout out to my pals Larry, Angel, and Brendan from upstate New York. A huge shout out to all of our first responders. Stay humble. that was nice. Actually, it was hashtag stay humble. So you know that Cole's he might be going balls out for Harambe.
Balls out for Harambe.
That's what we're gonna start because it's sports balls. Balls out for Harambe. Well, 2016 is in the books.
Unfortunately.
Let's make this happen again next year.
Next year? Yeah, 2 times seeing each other. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, this isn't the first time I met Larry. The other time we did not have a podcast going. Well, I did, but I didn't record it. But he ate a ghost pepper caramel, so
yeah,
that was
and
good.
we were supposed to have it on video, and then I forgot the SIM card in Illinois, so.
Sad.
But
that's 2016. See you at Twins Fest.
Go Bucks.